Namaste, beloveds. This is Sufiana, Feminine Soul Awakening. Today, I wanted to introduce you all to one of my other very powerful, beautiful priestesses, goddesses, sisters. She's doing some amazing work in Europe, and I would love to hear from her how her life has changed after my training. So, welcome, Lunia.
Hi, Sufiana.
Hi, dear. Wonderful
Hi.
to see you again.
Same here, same here. I was looking forward to seeing you.
I wanted to know how has your life changed after the training, and what did you feel that you learned most from the training?
Okay, so actually, the answer to those two questions is somewhat related for me, because so one way in which my life has changed is that I have started working with women full time, let's put it this way, after the training with you. So I was in a transition phase when I came to India. I was living in Dubai. So then just before coming to India, I packed up my life there, and then I decided to move back home to Romania, which is where I live now. And I had sort of began interacting with the whole idea of working with women and women's circles and such things while I was in Dubai. And I had set this intention that, yeah, I want to begin to do this full time, but I had no idea how to actually start. And your training actually popped out of nowhere for me because I was in Dharamshala. I was in Dharamshala.
Really? I did not know this story. I'm so glad that we had this chat. I did not know the backstory at all. This is very synchronistic.
I think I never got to tell you.
I just want to say here that so many women come and tell me exactly these things that they were not like, it's just something just like guided them. It's like very synchronistic. Every woman that I have met, 90% of the women find this training just synchronistically.
I mean, it absolutely was for me, because before I didn't even know there was such a thing as the women training for, hosting women's circles or such things. And I was in Dharamshala because I felt called to go there. I've had wanted to go for about 3 years, and then that was the perfect time for me. But I went there to do my yoga TTC. So when I was in my yoga teacher training, that's when I saw the sign that was saying you had your full moon circle.
Yeah.
I came for that, 2-3 hour circle. And then just the next weekend you had another workshop, and then you had like the big TTC. And he was like, I can't believe that this is happening right here, right now. And since I came to your women's circle, I knew I was going to do everything that I could that you were offering at that time. I was going to attend everything as much as I could. And it turned out that I could attend everything. So I feel incredibly blessed, because it was literally like a spark that was so strong that literally it felt as if that was all I needed at that time, to get me to then do this work myself. So a few months after I was in India, I kept traveling a bit through Europe, and then I moved back home in autumn. And almost right away, I started doing the women's circles. And at the first circle that I announced, and I am in my hometown, but I've been away for like 10-15 years. So it's not like I had the community here. I didn't really, but I just announced it on Facebook. And then I think in the first circle, there were 15 women who showed up. Wow. Just because they saw it on Facebook. And now that community has grown. So 1.5 years later, there's more than 100 of us in the community. And for every circle, there's over 20 of us who meet twice a month. We meet for new moon and full moon. And just now, tomorrow, actually, I'm going on a retreat that we are organizing as a community of women. We're organizing a retreat for other women who feel the need to be held by sisters for 3 days. So it's like an offering that we're doing, we call it a community project. So it's 10 of us coming together to hold a space for another 10 women. So it's like one-on-one space holding. And I could not be more grateful that it's really it's led to this level where now a bunch of women are ready to come together. And basically we came up with this because we felt so overflowing that with what we were getting from the circles, that we said we just want to pay it forward, and we just want to be able to share this with other women who've never been in a circle before. They don't even know what it's like to be with your sisters in a way that's non-competitive, that is just completely safe and caring and loving and nurturing, and all of that deliciousness that comes together when we come together as women just to hold each other.
Wow, that sounds beautiful and powerful. Actually, you answered my third and the final question as well. What events do you have coming up that you would like to share with our audience as well? Because if there are some women listening and maybe they are interested in also contacting you, then feel free to share about any future events as well.
Okay. Well, for now, all the events that I do are in Romanian, even though we actually, because of the pandemic and everything, we moved online. So now I am hosting still as much as I can the bi-monthly circles, hosting them online. And so there's a platform that the women who can speak Romanian, they can join. And it's actually called Women's Circle, the Circle of the Moon. But maybe they can just like get in touch with me directly or something if there's any Romanian speaking women. So mostly that's what we're doing now. But yeah, I was gonna say something else about. Yeah, so for now this is what it is, and they can connect with me there.
That's wonderful. I'll just get your link from you, your website or something, and then I'll add it to the post when I make it. So thank you so much for your kind presence and your powerful wisdom that you are spreading around in your country. I'm very happy to hear that you are spreading this soul medicine, this feminine soul medicine in your own country. You're making your own women stronger and deeper and bringing them home to their own true authentic selves. So I'm really very proud of you.
Thank you so much. And I want to say something else because I didn't actually properly answer your first question, which was about like, what was my main takeaway. So there were so many takeaways, that I took from your training, but the most powerful one from me was actually me meeting Kali. So for me, I had been rejecting everything that wasn't sparkly and pretty and beautiful and like all the goddesses that weren't gorgeous. I was rejecting them because I was rejecting my own shadows and my own, like I wasn't accepting, especially my anger. Like I had been suppressing my anger for 20 years before I met you, So for me,
it's a very strong medicine.
And everything changed for me. I feel like once I embraced Kali, it was as if I truly began to love myself, but for real, like not just wanting to or pretending to or wishful thinking to or just loving my light, like the moment that I was able to really look at my darkness and see how amazingly beautiful Kali was inside of me, I truly felt like, oh my God, I can, this is the most gorgeous thing. And so I really felt, and as you always say, that after we embrace a shadow or a part of us that we've been rejecting, there's more of us in us. And that's how I felt after training. I felt that I left there with so much more of me in me than before. And I felt so much more whole and so much more, and ever since, it's so hard for me to reject anything else in my environment because now I'm in so much acceptance of myself that I can accept so much easier what's outside, because it's always a reflection. So I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for that, because I had never come across something like that before, and that was really transformational and life-changing for me.
Oh, my pleasure. It just feels so good to hear this. You won't believe it. During your workshop, also was the main time when I started asking, is Kali session too intense? Should I remove this from the workshop? And on the last day when I asked you all, you were like, no, that was the most important part of the medicine.
Really, really. And I think it's because so few of us, or so few even women or men or whoever who do this work of helping people come back to themselves. So few of them feel comfortable we're holding a space like that. And for you, you're like, you know, you're so in your power when you do that. And just seeing you in your power like that, it really
Yeah.
allowed me to go there as well, and to see and integrate and love that massive scary shadow that I used to think it was so scary. And then when I saw it, I'm like, oh my God, this is just so. Definitely Kali medicine. I mean, I feel it's one of your main strengths and gifts. So please give it to as many women as possible.
Okay, thank you. That's great feedback. Thanks a lot. I really, really appreciate that feedback. One of the reasons why this is a very important sacred day for me, and shadow work is a very important part for me, because my journey started with Goddess Kali coming and grabbing me and telling me like, oh, you want to ascend. My soul maybe had an intention to grow this way. So she came and grabbed me at the age of 19, very young age, and she took me down. And she kept me down there for years. So most of the lessons that I've learned about anything spiritual, psychological, yes, I have many degrees, certificates, blah, 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 whatever, workshops. But what she taught me directly, face to face, eye to eye, bones, in my blood, in every cell of my body, that was her truth. Her truth burns in me. And that is why a part of me knows I cannot possibly stop teaching about her. So thank you so very much, dear, for your time. And I'm going to just say a goodbye later on to the audience, so you can sign off if you want. But thank you very much. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Take care, dear. Bye.
Bye.
So my beloveds, that was my priestess, Lunia. She's spreading her beautiful energy and medicine all across Romania, as you heard. And this is the path. I can only light so many candles. And so many candles have to go forward and light many more candles, and then many more candles. So as she mentioned rightly, shadow work, goddess Kali work, feminine, masculine balancing work as well. These are very important part of the lessons and the medicines that I personally bring in the world, where it's heroine's journey, the group coaching workshop, there will be shadow work there, there'll be feminine, masculine balancing there. I don't believe in only doing masculine oriented coaching. There's the goal, this is the structure, and now just do. No, you have to bring both the essences, both your powers. We have two different kinds of powers. Why do you want to bring only one power to the plate? Then you will only feel like giving up, because most of you is not feeling seen, heard, or met. So whether it's shadow work workshop, whether it is self-love workshop, whether it is self-empowerment workshop, in each and every workshop of mine, these aspects will always be there. So I hope this was inspiring for your soul to go out and be the change that you wish to see in the world. Deep bow.